last midweek I went and did some charity shopping because the car boot was crap. Absolute rubbish. Well, this week I didn't even get up early. I drifted about from sort of 7:30 sending out offers. So by the time I'd finished, I had 8 sales at about 10. So I wrapped them all, chucked them down the post office and the parcel shop, and got to doing a charity shop run, a more serious one. 3 towns, 14 shops, and yeah, quite a substantial amount of purchases. The first shop was just along from the post office in my own village, and I got Lucy. She's a Lego clock, Wild Style, Lucy Wild Style, and I think that's the design. I'm not sure. Anyway, it works and lights up and everything when you press the head. But I took the batteries out because I've already listed her, and I expect to sell her very quickly. She cost me a £5, which was just a little bit more. I would have normally wanted to pay £3. A car boot I would have only paid like a couple of quid. But if she goes wrong or something's wrong with it, you can take it back at a charity shop. So that's what I've been paying a little bit more lately. So I went to the next village along, Willoughby, and I bought my first item was this art tile. Very nice this. It says Misty Isle on it, and it's come from the Isle of Skye. Got a nice felt backing and a hanger. Although I've been on the website to look at the retail price, and they do say you can rip the back off because it's just like sort of felt to the cardboard, and actually install this on your tiling if you like. These are retailing at £26, and on eBay they're going for about 20, maybe a little bit less sometimes. Anyway, I've only got it on for £12.50 plus postage. I'm not posting it as a large letter, although it would go through the letter slot. It's too fragile for that, so it's going in a nice box with some bubble wrap. Makes it a high-end parcel. But yeah, nice. That was £2.60, by the way. So these 3 egg cobblers together were £2.60 as well. And they're all taped together like that. And I just picked them up and put them on the counter. But the reason they were taped together, as I found out later, is because they were all seconds. That one's got a dimple right in the middle of the main transfer. These are Royal Worcester, by the way, and quite valuable if in good nick. And this one, both of the lids don't fit properly. And this one's got a dimple underneath one of the, it's like a crack that's in the glaze but doesn't go into the pottery. The one's got some black spots on it. So all 3 are seconds. This one, unless you're close up, you can't see it's a second, but close up you can. I'm sure I'll still make money on that. At the same place, I also got some electricals. They're always good for electricals. £6.50. This is a satellite hard drive recorder and Freeview. So it's free sat. You get about 80 odd channels, and you can record them and play them back later, just like it would be a Sky, but you don't pay for it. And it cost me £6.50. Did I say that? Yes, I did. And this will go for anywhere from £22 to 28, 30 quid. I reckon I will pay, I'll get like £25 plus delivery. And also another electrical, where are we? Sony. I always like my Sony stuff because, there's the receipts. Other people like them, and they're reliable, and even if it didn't work, the remote's worth more than a tenner. That's what I paid, a tenner for it. If it had been a car boot, I would have only paid £5. However, anything goes wrong with this, it's straight back to the charity shop. The times have gone when, because the charity shops want to behave a bit more like boutiques and charge a bit more, I don't have any compunction about taking stuff back, and I regularly do it when something doesn't work exactly right. Especially with the electricals, because I'm going more into the electricals. There's a better margin in some of them. So this is pack tested on the 22nd of February, and that makes it a day old when I bought it, so that's not bad. And that was the last of the item in that shop. And then I moved on to the next village along, Cottenham, and I went to the first shop, picked up this for £3, and it's a Thermos, and it's spotlessly clean inside with like a rose gold coloured interior. This is made in West Germany, so that dates it to before the reunification of Germany, and it's a genuine Thermos. So because it's rare, I'm going to look for 20 quid on that at least, maybe 20 quid plus delivery, something like that. And I also got a pot stand, but it's a Pimpernel pot stand, casserole dish stand. I've already listed this. You take a photograph of the front, you take a photograph of the back. What more can you do? That was an easy listing. And then I moved on to the next shop. I got 4 board games. I know I said I wasn't going to get any more £2 board games to sell for £10, but that's what these are. Maybe I shouldn't have done, because it's quite a lot of work laying them out, but I have checked them and they're all perfectly fine, except for a bit of shelf wear on the frustration. I mean, it's a 1970 odd game, 1976 or 9, something like that. I also bought a Harry Potter book. These said the better. But also I got there was this, Ted Baker. Now this was taped shut. It's like as though, why would you tape it shut if you want somebody to buy it? Because you wouldn't know what's inside it, would you, if it's taped shut? So I just peel all the tape off. I mean, you know, it's a nice shiny surface, it's not damaged it. And the interior is, Ted always delivers, a lovely patent leather purse with a little coin slot on the back, in grape and light pink, with a little bit for cards and folding money, and the brand new tags, and the leather tag from Ted. It actually says Ted Baker, real leather. Ted says only the best will do. I don't know whether it's a thing with Ted Baker, but there's all sorts of little slogans impressed into the leather. There's one here, it says, and this reminds me of my childhood, see a penny, pick it up, good luck. They've not put the whole phrase in, and that's fine. And this little card here from Ted says, patent leather can draw colour from other products, so please avoid putting it next to PVC. And it says, take care of me. So I've no doubt that this is genuine, because the leather is absolutely lovely. I mean, obviously, somebody's going to be very happy with this. All the interior is lovely and clean. The retail on these is 70. They're running an offer at the moment, 20% off, but it's not going to run all the time. And they're selling on eBay for 55, 58, 60. I'll be happy with Well, I'll put it on for $54.99 delivered, and if I get 45, I'd be really happy. I mean, paid 7, you know. Next shop along was the RSPCA, and I bought this. Sorry for the rattling. It's Corningware, so that's American, and this is Pyrex. So this is made, I think, in the UK, the lid, but they're owned by Corning anyway. If you didn't know, Pyrex is owned by Corning, and they did come together like that. And there's a little Corningware mark there to show that it's genuine Corningware. There's very little wear on it, just from the feet, and I think that's from the shop. If it had come in a box, I would have said this was never used. There's no wear on the interior whatsoever, which is pretty much a good indicator that it hasn't been used at all, really, because this is a browning dish for microwaves, and you would have had browning marks on the interior because you're cooking your bacon, you're cooking your sausages. I don't know, I suppose you could do pork chops in it, things that need browning. And I also bought from this same shop day clocks, 8. This is an 8-inch day clock. It's just like the same shape and everything as one of those digital photo frames, but it's a diary. I mean, it tells you the date, the time, the date and the day of the week it is. And it also has 2 alarms for tell you when to take your medicine, because it's for the maybe slightly infirm, sight impaired, older person that maybe wants to remember things that they're slightly forgetful. That's a £5, and they're selling for between 25 and 30 quid. I'll be happy with anything over 20 quid, quite honestly. And the last shop was in Beverley, by the way, that one. I'd moved on from the last town to Beverley. Beverley has about 10 charity shops, and I only bought from 2 of them. It can be a little bit expensive, Beverley. And there's a couple that are boutique-ish that are very clothes oriented at quite expensive prices, and I'm just not interested in the clothes. And there's an Oxfam bookshop that's just books, and I've done my stint with books. I'm not interested anymore. I will occasionally buy a paperback to make up a set, or a box set of hardbacks that's dead cheap. I sold a box set of hardbacks Wednesday morning, actually, the day I bought all this lot, and I think I paid £2 for it and sold it for £16.95 plus delivery. That's the sort of margin I want if I'm doing with books anymore. Anyway, the last item was this. And this was from British Heart Foundation. Very nice. Rum top. Blue. It's called cobalt blue, the colour. And it's spotlessly clean. It's not the same shape as the other rum top that you see that are quite in demand on eBay, because this is rarer. I'm sure this will be, there'll be quite a good interest in this, because the only one I've seen is on Worthpoint, and I'm not subscribed, so I don't know how much it gone for, but it was an auction. So why would you put it into an auction unless you thought you were going to get good money for it? It's West German. It doesn't show West German there, but the name is Marzi und Rumi, or Marzi and Remy in English. And yeah, so West German pre-reunification, and it's survived all this time in really good condition. So yeah, if you don't know about rum top, they're well worth looking into. If you see one, there's a good margin in them mostly. You put your fruits in there, orchard fruits, berries, that type of thing, in the autumn when they're fresh. You put sugar in, brown sugar, white sugar, whatever you fancy, and then you fill it with the local average cheap, whatever you've got, alcohol-based beverage, vodka, slivovitz, whatever, rum, to preserve the fruit for winter, and then you can have it dolloped on, I don't know, whatever sweet you're having, pies. You could make pies with the filling in this, or your ice cream, or just on its own in a bowl. Just don't give it to children if it's full of vodka. Yeah, so that was all the Wednesdays, and I think I will show you what I got yesterday as well, because it was quite good. I got this guy.
Boy, am I glad to see you.
He was £2. Doesn't have a hat, and unfortunately, he's lost his holster. And he's just a little bit grubby. I could clean him, but I think I'll just sell him as is. And at the same time, there was another one, exactly the same, actually the better quality one, with the thinkway on the boot, and the front opens up. He has more phrases.
Boy, am I glad to
See, this guy's quite repetitive unless you change the switch on the back. But he rattles, the other guy. So I've started him on auction at £9.99 with the admission that he rattles. But yeah, he's older. This guy's not as old, but he's quite good. I'm sure I'll make some sales. And I also got Bullseye. I got it right this time. I know I sort of called Buzz Lightyear Woody in the last video. This guy is Bullseye, Woody's horse. Woody will sit on him, but just falls off because he's not taped together. And that's my lot, except for today. I got a box full of Duplo. I know it says Megabloks, but it's actually Duplo. There we go, without tipping it up. There's about 110 pieces, I think, 109 maybe. And it's not all square blocks, which is nice. That was £6. And it came with one of these. Well, I can sell this for more than £6 just on its own. I think maybe £8 or £9 even. And the Duplo, I've sold that much before. I think that'll be just over a kilo, maybe 1100, 1200 grams. I've sold that much before for about 19 or 20 quid delivered. It's really clean. So that's going to be on in the next day or so. If you want to see more of this stuff and stuff that I've sold in the last couple of days, I've put a couple of more Instagram pages up. So I'll put my link to Instagram down below. And if you're on Instagram, you can always have a look at my eBay stores link as well, to see whether I've listed this lot yet. If you fancy any of this, you can always message below or on Instagram. So, on the way back from getting a switch today, my light switch in my bathroom broke. I bought this. And it's got a DVD player on the back. And it's got all the connections. £15. And it's got a remote somewhere. So some young lady, well, I say a lady, I mean some bloke who likes pink might be interested as well. We'll probably have this as a bedroom TV shortly, but I'll be looking for about 50 quid for it. Yeah, the remote works. I've tested it. I've got to test the DVD player, and I will also test the SCART socket and the HDMI with I don't know, with a Sky input, and see how it goes. And that's everything I've bought this week. I hope you enjoyed it. You probably already turned off, but if you haven't, you could, you know, press the like button if you liked it, and you can press the subscribe button if you want to see more. I have a couple of plans to do a more in-depth video on promoting various things on eBay and using the, how best, in my opinion, to use the sending offers to buyers tool. Anyway, that's for another video, and hopefully if you're interested, you'll come back and watch that. Cheerio.